welcome to my NFL Week 3 predictions. Now, I still have this big clunky mic. I was supposed to get a new one tomorrow, but they delayed it. Let me get right in the middle, sorry. So, I will continue using this clunky piece of shit until I get my new mic, which hopefully will be on Tuesday next week. But until then, deal with this one. I have to. I didn't feel like taking the stand off either, so. But anyway, welcome to my Week 3 predictions. Last week, I had a much more respectable week. I did not go 8-8. I went 14-2, technically. Now, the reason I say technically is because my dumbass accidentally did the wrong picks in the Pick'em League for 2 of my games. I accidentally picked the Chiefs and the Vikings. So I will use that score because it seems more appropriate, and I can't change it, so it'll be easier to have that one. So I technically went 12-4, and my total is 20-12, especially after week 1. Not looking good, but with that being said, let's get to yapping about week 3. Game 1, we have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Dolphins looked much better last week than they did the week before against the Patriots last week. However, they still lost 33-27, and they still suck. Fuck the Dolphins. They pissed me off after week 1. And the Bills, they tied the Jets up, and they spanked their little asses to win 30-10. So for this game, the Bills win 35-12. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Minnesota Vikings. The Bengals took the Jags down 31-27 despite Joe Burrow stubbing his toe and dying. So now he's out for, I think, like 3 months. Unfortunately for the Vikings, they got whooped by the Falcons 22-6. And they'll also be missing their starting QB, J.J. McCarthy. I don't know what happened to him. I think in shoulder injury maybe. I don't remember. I don't care because I don't care about the Vikings. The Bengals win 27-16. Or is that 19? Sorry. No, that's 10. 27-10. Sorry, I can't read my writing. Next up, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans lost another heartbreaker, this time to the Buccaneers, 20-19. The Jags, they also lost a heartbreaker. However, it was to Jake Browning, 31-27. Both teams are looking to bounce back this week. However, I think the Texans will win 28-25. It's going to be closer than you think. And I think the Texans are going to squeak it out to get their first win of the season. But next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Tennessee Titans. This is a divisional game, just like the last game. All the AFC South teams are taking each other down this week. I guess I can just stand in the middle. Fuck it. The Colts, once again, made me look stupid. They beat the Broncos. I almost said the Browns. The Broncos, 29-28, but it was with the bullshit flag, so I don't know if we can call the Colts elite yet. The Titans still don't have an O-line, so they got bullied by the Rams 33-19. However, this week I'm not going to underestimate the Colts, and the Colts win 28-17. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Washington Commanders. The Raiders got whooped 20-9 by the Chargers. They don't have a QB, it seems. Just like last year, they still don't have a QB. I'm going to throw some shade at Geno Smith here. And the Commanders, they also got whooped, though. This by the Packers, 27-18. But I don't think that devalues them that much because the Packers are seemingly to be one of the best teams this year. So I think the Commanders win 24-13. The LA Rams, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Rams beat up on the lowly Titans 33-19. They're starting to look better compared to week 1. And the Eagles, they beat up on the Chiefs in their Super Bowl rematch, 20-17. But it doesn't seem like the Eagles are playing their best game right now. So I'm thinking they're going to have to pick it up. I think they will win 25-20, though. The Atlanta Falcons taking on my Carolina Panthers. The Falcons looked fantastic against the Vikings, but it's not much to write home about, I won't lie. 22-6. And the Panthers, they looked like shit for 2.5 quarters. But then they picked it up to lose 27-22 to the Cardinals. I'm not going to put any money on the Panthers quite yet. The week 1 was a mistake. So the Falcons win 26-19. Fun fact about that Panthers game. I have Bryce Young on one of my fantasy teams, and I jokingly put him in over CJ Stroud, and then I was about to change him back because I was like, that was a stupid idea. And it was 3:05 when I went to change him back. So I missed out on my opportunity. I had to keep Bryce Young in. And I messaged the fantasy league. I was like, guys, it was a joke. Please switch him back, please. And after, I think, like the first play, he was like negative 0.8. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to kill myself or something. And then I started playing video games because I was like, I'm going to lose this week. I still lost, but I looked towards the end of the game, and he was up to 27 fantasy points. He did better than all 3 of my other QBs, mostly because one of them's injured. But yeah, I still lost that week by 3 points, but Bryce Young really brought it back, surprisingly. So I got faith in my boy. I'm thinking he's gonna start building himself back up like last year towards the end. Anyway, next up we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New England Patriots. The Steelers decided to shit the bed against the Seahawks, 31-17. Rodgers, he doesn't want to be MVP. Week 1 he wanted to. Week 2 he doesn't. The Patriots, they squeaked out a win against the Dolphins, so not much there. Drake May seems to be improving though. Steelers still win 17-12. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. All right, next up, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Packers, they're looking elite these first 2 weeks, dominating both the Lions and the Commanders, 2 playoff teams, I will say so. And the Browns, yikes. They got dominated 41-17 by the Rams. They got a little dominated. Spanked. But the Packers, they are the team to beat so far, along with the Bills, I'd say. The Packers win 33-16. The New Jersey Jets taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jets, as we know, got reamed by the Bills. And the Buccaneers, they're looking pretty good, but they're having close games. So I think this will be another close game. The Buccaneers win 24-20. The Buccaneers, they beat the Texans, yeah. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Broncos, they're a weird team, okay? They had the best D in week 1, and they had a pretty shitty D in week 2. The Chargers, they're looking pretty good so far this season, taking down both the Chiefs and the Raiders. They're taking on their 3rd divisional opponent in week 3, and I think the Chargers win 20-17. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Saints went head-to-head with the 49ers. And they're looking all right, despite losing 26-21. The Seahawks, they made a huge fourth quarter surge. to make the Steelers look like dumbasses. This will be another pretty close game, I say, for the Saints, and the Seahawks, however, will win 17-14. It will be low scoring. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. The Cowboys, they had a good game. Or they had a huge... What? I read the wrong... The Cowboys had a huge overtime win against the Giants, 40-37. And the Bears got their cheeks oiled up and spread by the Lions, 52-21. The Bears are looking embarrassing this year. The Cowboys win 27-13. I think they're going to keep this little streak going. They're 1-1. That's not really a streak. Whatever. The Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. This is the one that I was reading originally. The Cardinals had a good game against the Panthers until they stopped having a good game. Panthers nearly coming back. That was great. Until they didn't come back. And the 49ers, they looked good against the Saints. However, everyone is dying on the 49ers except for Christian McCaffrey. So I think this will be a close one. However, with all these injuries, I think the Cardinals win 27-20. All right, 2 games left. We got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the New Jersey Giants. The Chiefs look like shit this season. Like, let's be real. 0-2. Are you serious? Have you seen the downfall of Kansas City? And the Giants, they look like a team against the Cowboys last week. They're not a team though. They're still not a team. I want to troll, and say the Giants will win, but that's not going to happen. The Chiefs will win 31-10. And finally, we have the game of the week: the Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The Lions had a dominating victory against the Bears. Oh my God. They're looking like last year's Lions. And the Ravens also looked fantastic. These are 2 dominant teams now. Hopefully they stay dominant. However, the Lions got spread by the Packers in week 1, and the Ravens, they went to the wire with the Bills in week 1. So I think the Ravens have the upper hand and will win this game 37-35. I think it'll be a good week. Or I think that'll be a good game at least. And I think that's about it. I think that's about it. Bye.